Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Mom, or Kay from Millennial Mom. Millennial is not with me this week. Maybe she'll be back next week, do the work obligations, but you have me, so that's okay. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And also don't forget we have a membership. You could join and we'll be able to shout you out for any graduations, any upcoming events, and members will also receive inside behind the scenes look of Millennial Mom. So consider joining today. All right, so today's video, we're going to talk about Love After Lockup, Season 4, Episode 17, Dirty Little Secrets. This could have been wildin', but let's get into it. So we're going to start off with Brittany and Marcelino. So it's the next morning. Brittany has woken up. She's in the car. She's driving, trying to figure out where to go because if you remember last evening, she was upset because she found out that Marcelino was lying to her, didn't want to tell her where he was going, what he was doing, and he was sending texts and stuff to Amanda. And then somehow she woke up in the bed with her friend Shannon last week and claimed she didn't know how she got there. So instead of going home, she went to look like it was a rental property or something, or maybe a hotel to clear her mind. So like I said, it's the next morning, and you know what? She just is beside herself. She's thinking about why would Amanda lie to her? Since they had their threesome, she feels like she can't trust Amanda because she feels like she's keeping those texts from her and pretty much playing mind games. So Brittany decides that she's gonna call Amanda. And not only does she call Amanda, she shows up to her job. She's like, hey, what are you doing? She's like, I'm working, all that stuff. She goes, I'm outside, come and talk to me. So when Amanda agrees to come talk, Brittany says, so, how long have this been going on? Like, why didn't you tell me? They're going over the same scenario over and over again. She said, how come you have pictures of Marcelino's eggplant and you think that's okay? She's like, I can't believe you would think that's okay because you're supposed to tell me what's going on. I think she means like, if he texts you outside of like the threesome, we don't all agree, like you shouldn't be accepting any messages and stuff like that. And Amanda's like, I'm sorry and I didn't mean it. And next, Brittany slapped the daylight out of Amanda. She slapped her, was trying to punch her, and not trying to punch. She punched her, and hard enough to where Amanda fell on the ground, and producers or somebody stepped in, and Brittany's like, you know what? You act like you so innocent. You're not innocent. You be this, that. And Amanda's like, F you. Just a bunch of cuss words going back and forth. But you know what? When you open it up to have a threesome, sometimes people are on the creep doing extra stuff, whether you know it or not, even if you have an open marriage. I mean, yes, it takes two to tango, but in this case, it takes three to tango. So I don't know. I think maybe she's taking her frustrations out on the wrong person. So, but yeah, at the same time, maybe Amanda should have said something, but still, Marcelino's your husband. You all invited her into the bedroom. So after that, Brittany's like, you know what? She is grimy. I can't trust her. She's no better than Marcelino. And when I get home, he's got some explaining to do, and gonna give him a chance. But if he lies to me, he's getting the same treatment. So Brittany is not here for none of this nonsense. Next up, Branwen and Chaz. They are laid up in bed, so in Chaz's words, they did the deed, they did the dirty. And Chaz is giddy like a teenager. He's like, well, I thought she was a little bit more aggressive than I'm used to. She's more like a tiger. And then Branwen says, she doesn't really have experience with older guys, and she would describe him as a soft, cuddly butterfly. Yeah, that's saying a lot. So clearly if Brandon was aggressive and he was a soft butterfly, maybe it was over real quick. Chaz, of course, is glad that he stayed. He that's what he wanted anyways. When he called her, he was like, you know what? I'm not going home. I decided to stay an extra day so that we can have time. That was always Chaz's agenda because they didn't consummate the marriage on the wedding night because, Brenda was having those panic attacks and she just couldn't see herself doing anything right now with Chaz or with Chaz. So as they're getting dressed and get ready to go, Chaz says, you know what? I feel we're on a higher level, so let's go ahead and get you home. Before they even get to the car, Branwen's phone rings. And she's like, oh, I have to take this. And as soon as she answers, it's like, hey, baby, how are you? In a man's voice. She goes, oh, hey. So she's walking away, having a conversation with whoever she's talking to. And Chaz is telling production, she's like, yeah, well, you know, she has to take a lot of phone calls, you know, because she's still on parole and she has to check in and do these other little things. This whole time, he's being played. And there's just something that I believe, in my opinion, that he knows that, one, she's not as attracted to him as he is to her, and two, that she still may be talking to her friend Aaron, and three, that there's, again, like I said, he knows there's something, but he just doesn't know what. So when she's done with the phone call, Chaz was like, I need a minute. And then he walks away, he takes out his cigarette, he starts crying, and he's smoking. So he goes over to the wall by the carport, and she walks over, is like, hey, are you upset? And he doesn't say anything, and then he takes his ring off. Well, he slams it down. I was like, oh, you slamming things down now, Chaz? So you finally leaving? And then he takes off and walks in another direction, and Brandon was trying to calm him down. She said, you're tripping. Like, what is going on? He goes, yeah, I know I'm tripping, but I just want to spend some time with you. I just don't feel like we're spending too much time together. He wonders if his marriage to Brandon was going to hold up. I say, Chaz, don't hold your breath. Moving right along to Deontay and Lindsay. Lindsay is shopping for a pageant gown with Miley Grace. Miley Grace has started to do pageants, and Lindsay was happy because she said, you know what? When I was your age, I was in pageants. I borrowed my dress from our cousin or whoever. And then she was saying how the pageant that Miley's in, they still have the same backdrop when she was in school, and they still doing things the same way. I'm thinking, well, Lindsay, how long was you in school if you finished? But the school hasn't changed its decor or just hasn't done anything else. I mean, maybe the school is in a rural area. She said she's from Mississippi, so maybe that's what it is. But anyways, we see Miley trying on heels for the first time. She can't really walk in them, so that was kind of cute. But then Deontay is blowing up Lindsay's cell phone. Miley Grace is asking her who's calling, and she goes, oh, it's Deontay. You know, he keeps blowing me up, but I got things to do. I have more important things, you know. She goes, I love him and all, but, you know, he's kind of getting on my nerves. He's clingy. And then when Lindsay's mom comes over to talk to her about, you know, the pageant or whatever it is and what's going on in Lindsay's life now, and she's saying that, you know, Deontay keeps blowing her up. You know, she had control of all the conversations when she was in prison, but he just won't leave her alone. And the mom was saying, you know what? That's the world we live in now. I think she was talking about like electronics. So, you know, if you think he's going to leave you alone, he probably won't. And I'm thinking, no, he probably won't. So moving to Deontay, he's out furniture shopping with his mom, and he's telling production that he don't want to tell his mom, I guess, at his house or her house. He'd rather go somewhere in public so that his mom would be less likely to cause a scene, or that he would have witnesses. And I'm thinking that's not going to make a bit of difference, because Deontay, that what you're going to tell her doesn't seem like it has changed from the first time or the second time. But if I was your mom, I would feel the same exact way. Well, his mom was like, well, why are you looking at this stuff? I thought you was cash poor. He goes, well, I'm thinking about moving to Mississippi and getting a house with her and her daughter, and, you know, just to be together, be a family, because I love her. The mom said, are you crazy? Didn't you learn the lesson from the last relationship you was in? And Deontay says, she's not her. That was something completely different. And I'm thinking, how? How, Deontay? How is this different? Everyone's been in prison. Everyone's your prison bae. I mean, just because Lindsay hasn't asked you for no cash right now and is kind of trying to talk sense into you, like, you know, you really don't need to move to Mississippi and maybe you ought to get your finances together first. So, you know, it takes Lindsay to tell you about your finances, but the situation's the same. So Deontay's mom said, look, Deontay, we've been down this road 2 times before. I'm not trying to go down it again with you. When you hurt and you get hurt by these women, I get hurt too. Then Deontay's mom pops him upside the head with the pillow and said, you know what? I'm done. I don't blame you, because you know what? That's a headache. Every time you turn around, Deontay has a new prison bae doing whatever, don't have no trust, and just jumping in head first. For what? Okay, so Deontay, this is on you. When Deontay's mom leaves, he leaves too. And the first thing he does when he gets to this car is call Lindsay, I guess, to talk about how the conversation went with his mom. And you know what happens? The phone is just ringing and ringing and ringing. Next up, Puppy and Amber. So Amber's driving Puppy home from their shopping trip. And Amber wants to know why Puppy's not with someone that she can trust, that loves her for her, and, just someone decent. And Puppy says she's not sure what's going on with Eric. She thinks that Eric is still with his ex. So now that Puppy is home, Eric is, she's showing him the things that she bought and for him and whatever. And he's getting up to go. She's like, where are you going? He goes, I'm going out. She's like, going out where? And Eric's pretty much tell her, like, mind your business. I didn't ask you where you was. I didn't ask you what you was doing, so don't be questioning me. Because Eric is just not the type to seem like he likes to answer any type of questions, especially from Puppy. And I think he controls a relationship where Puppy's afraid to ask anything anyways. Honestly, it seems like Puppy's afraid to breathe around Eric, but that's just my opinion. So then Puppy says, oh, so where you going with your ex? And Eric said, I didn't bother you when you was with your ex all day. I was like, okay. Well, that was kind of true. He got you on that one, Puppy. But still, I mean, Eric don't respect you, so there's no way that he's going to tell you where he's going. And on top of that, Eric, even if he does go see, I think her name is Heather, Heather and him are still married. So technically, that's not his ex. Puppy, that makes you the side chick that he comes and goes with. So, I mean, you was just at the divorce lawyer, so I don't know why this has escaped your mind like she's the ex when really she's the wife and he probably is just going home and spending time with you. But I could be wrong. So the next day, Amber comes back over to visit Puppy. And when Amber comes in, she's like, where's Eric? She goes, like, he's in there. So Puppy has to talk like extra quiet around Eric because the things that they talk about, see, Eric already don't like Amber. And so Puppy don't want to rock the boat with Eric with anything. And then next you know, here comes Eric. He goes, oh, I thought that was you, Amber, because you knock on the door like you the police or something. I was about to run out the back door. I was like, And then Eric goes, okay, well, I'm leaving. And then Amber is saying, well, where you going? And he said, She's like, where you going? What you doing? She's questioning him like Puppy was the day before. And Eric says, well, when I tell her, then you'll know. And then he leaves out the door. And Amber's like, why do you put up with this? She said, well, I don't really trust him because when he comes home, because he spends days away, nights away, he puts his clothes the clothes he's wearing right in the washing machine. And I'm thinking, he probably does more than that. And I don't really know why Puppy is saying like she can't trust him. She knows that he's still married and he comes and goes. So this is nothing new for her. Well, Amber has her all ramped up, talking about, girl, put your shoes on. We're going to follow him. Eric hasn't even closed the car door yet. Right? So Puppy runs to get her shoes and they're looking out the peephole. He's finally leaving. They jump in Amber's truck and they're driving and they get to a point to the freeway or highway and they pull off. And you know what? They can't go any further because the road is closed. And Puppy's like, oh my gosh, she's going to see us because the road's closed. So they have to turn around. Eric has to turn around and they go into this parking lot. Eric pulls over, gets out the car. It's like, what are you doing? Like, what do you think this is going to accomplish? Amber's like, well, we want to know what you're doing, where you going. And Puppy's just sitting there. He's like, what do you have to say about this? What do you have to say? And she's like, he's like, you can't say nothing? He said, I am 40 years old. I don't need no chaperone. I don't need nobody to hold my hand. And y'all better watch yourself. And Amber said, oh, it's like that? He said, yep, it's like that. And then he drives off. Amber goes, that's your man. And Puppy is just, now she's all the way. If she weren't nervous before, she's definitely nervous now because she's like, oh my God, how would you feel? Because I messed up. She's thinking, she's probably feeling like, what's going to happen if and when he comes home? It's more than just words going on with Eric and Puppy, allegedly. Now we have Chance and Taylor. Now, Chance is out house shopping. I guess, I don't know if it's his friends or coworkers or whatever. He tells us that he has been pre-approved for a $250,000 loan. And he's got 6 credit cards and all the stuff that's dealing with financial. And I just want to know how. Because if you was convicted for a bank robbery, how do you get a loan and how do you do all this? Because that is a felony charge. And I don't think you can open up any more bank accounts if you had one before or anything like that. Unless he's using Taylor's credit, I don't necessarily believe that. Okay, that's his story. So he's looking around the house. It's a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom house, upstairs, downstairs. Chance is saying that, maybe when they buy this home or any home, he would flip Taylor's home for rental property and they could have this home. Now, what I noticed was he was saying that he can do this and he can do that and he got a loan and he has 6 cars. I mean, where does Taylor come into any of this? Like, Taylor has the house, she has all these things established, but he's talking about what he can do. But anyways, when they get to the backyard, he's saying, oh yeah, we could put some nice little sheds back here and we could put Bobby back here, get 2 of them put together. All we would need to do is run that plumbing. I mean, he is determined to keep Bobby out any house he's in and just keep her in the back. Like, what is up with that? Now we see Taylor. She's at home. There's a pregnancy test sitting out. She's taking the test and she calls her friend Sarah because she's scared to look at it. Her friend has to convince her, girl, you need to look at that because you need to know. So when she finds out the results, she's pregnant. She's nervous. She don't want to tell Chance because you know what? Now that money that they were saving up for the wedding, they have to put it into the baby. And she's also worried that all the finances that he's done or has, for the car, the truck, for the truck, the rims, and everything else, he's spending too much money and she's afraid that, without him talking to her, like they may get into a bigger financial hole that she's not trying to be in. So later in the evening, Chance and Taylor go out to dinner. But when they get there, Chance orders some wine and pouring a glass for Taylor. She's like, no, that's okay. I don't want any. He goes, oh, okay. And then he orders a pizza and just different little things. He said, you want some? She goes, no, I've been feeling nauseous all day. He goes, yeah, I noticed that. He goes, why? She said, well, it's about the stress. And then she mentions the wedding and the truck again. And Chance is telling her, like, you know what? I could get all these side jobs and make a couple $1,000 on these side jobs and put up at least $20,000. So there's nothing that we need to worry about. He said, nothing changes about the wedding or being together except for the credit score. I'm like, that's all you got to think about is a credit score? I mean, again, like, where is all this banking information coming from when you was convicted of bank fraud, if I'm not mistaken? I'm just like, Chance, is your name really Chance? But he said, why are we bringing this up now? I'm trying to have a romantic date with you. He said, we left the stress at home. So why are we bringing this on the dinner? When he said that, Taylor really didn't have much to say at the dinner. I think she's still trying to figure out how she's going to tell Chance that she's pregnant. Now we have Sarah and Sean. They are finally dressed for the wedding. It is wedding day. Finally, I thought they was going to drag this out to the end of the season. So Sarah and Sean decide that they're going to have a first look. And a first look is where the bride and the groom meet to see each other before they get married. As Sarah's waiting to see Sean, guess who walks up? Kelly. When she turns around, Sarah's like, oh my goodness, like, I didn't know you were going to be here. And Kelly is explaining that, listen, I'm here because of Gracie. She goes, oh, Gracie's here? Because, see, Sarah thought she came without the kids and she hasn't seen anybody. She goes, yeah, and I just want to make sure that I can talk to you about what's going on, make sure that you're here for the right reasons, that you're marrying Sean for the right reasons. Kelly had some nice things to say to her. And they came to agreement like, yeah, Sean should step up for the kids and he should be in their lives. So they were on the common ground when it came to that. And then Sean saw his daughter, Gracie, and Gracie was saying how, she wanted to come to see if it was real because she only knew about Destiny and how when he was with Destiny, how she feels like that Sean abandoned them and she never felt like they were first and she felt like they were a throwaway family. And Sean got emotional saying, no, that's not it. I love you guys. I love all the kids. And, he wants to try to make it better and make it work this time. And Gracie, she's listening and she hugs her dad and I think she's happy to hear what he has to say, but she still has reservations, as well as she should, because Sean's track record isn't the best. So after that, Sean is finally at the altar and comes Sarah walking to meet Sean. And then the officiant is talking and saying what they say. And then when they get to the part of, does anyone have anything to say or speak now or forever hold your peace? Of course, it would seem like Destiny would say something, right? But then we see a quick scene. Destiny never made it to the wedding. She calls her mom. She never got on the plane because Destiny is now in labor. She's 7 months pregnant and says she's got to go to the ER because she's having contractions. Would it be wrong of me to say, I kind of wish Destiny had made it, to see how Sean would have explained that, not just to Sarah, but to the kids and just everyone in general. Not to say, have her speak at the wedding, but after it was over or something. But I don't know. Maybe I was here for the drama. Finally, we have Brittany and Ray. Brittany is going wedding dress shopping with her mom. Now, complete 180 turnaround her mom has, because her mom was not here for Brittany dating Ray and Ray being with Brittany, because Ray's been in prison. He's got restitution to pay. The mom just didn't think that he was good enough for her daughter. But she's coming around and she's helping Brittany pick out wedding dresses. And while they're doing that, the mom says, "So, have you thought about a prenup?" And Brittany's like, "Why? Why would I need a prenup? We have property in the family that we're going to pass on, and our paychecks may get garnished because, if he doesn't pay, then it's going to be on us." I'm thinking, well, Mom, who's we? Because that's Brittany's responsibility. If Ray doesn't pay, that's her paycheck too, not yours and Brittany's dad, because no, it don't work like that. And then Brittany says, "Well, do you think that he'll get mad if I ask? Because, prenups are for maybe if you're not getting along, and there's a stigma behind having a prenup." Then her mom was saying, consider it, talk to a lawyer. And then Brittany's like, "You know what? I just want to have a good day. I just want to try on these wedding dresses. I want to find something that's going to make me sophisticated, which say bougie and elegant. I'm not trying to hear about this right now." And I don't blame her. She's trying to be happy and not think about the restitution because she knows it's there. I mean, she has Ray. It's not going away. I'm sure it's a big chunk of his paycheck. So back at home, Ray asked Brittany, "So how did it go, wedding dress shopping?" And then Brittany says, "Well, my mom mentioned a prenup." He said, "For what? Do you think we need it?" She goes, "Well, I'm going to inherit some property from my family, and, we don't want to lose that. And then there's your restitution." The same things that her mom was saying, the same things we already know about, that restitution plays a role, because Ray has $140,000, and I know that takes a big chunk and a long time to pay down. And Ray says, "Well, why would we need that? There shouldn't be no problem. I plan on being married for a lifetime." He goes, "Isn't a prenup whatever I bring into the marriage and you bring in, what I leave with is what I brought in?" He goes, "Nah, man, that's not cool." And then the conversation, for a short time it goes left, because he can't understand why she would follow along with that. Ray says in his confessional, you know what? He just wants a good relationship with his in-laws. He just wants to be in a better place in general. And I can see that, because it comes across like Ray has worked hard. I mean, last week we learned he's a truck driver, got a CDL. And Ray, after that, he was like, "You know what? If that's what you want to do, man, go see a lawyer and let me know what's up." All right, everyone. So that was the end of the episode. As usual, it seems like the next week's episode will be better than this one, because I want to know what the drama is going to be at the wedding reception, because Sarah's mom said she was about to slap somebody. So I'm trying to see who she gonna slap. I think she was talking about Kelly, but I want to know the reasons why. And I want to see how Puppy's gonna explain to Eric whenever he comes home to say why she was following him in the truck, because I'm sure he has questions. All right, so don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Don't forget about the membership for a small fee. And until next week, thank you all again for watching. And as always, live simply, be grateful.